Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison workshop. I'm Bob, and we're going to work on some computers today. As everybody knows, I went and put a computer back in the shop after being without one for a while, and the electric went out, went back on, went back out, went back on, went back out, and I mean bam, 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 just like that. And I guess it's just too much for my motherboard. So I've been all night, last night, working on computers, trying to get one working. And I had all these old boards. Yeah, I mean, this one here's a HT 2000 ancient, and I think the dinosaurs even used it. So they're just DDR2. Of course, the new one I got is 2, I believe. And then I had this boxer board, and it's just not practical because it's for a mini tower or a mini computer, and it doesn't even have a place to hook up a PCIe. So I gave up on that box, or that board, and the board that's in the computer, which is still up there, it's got its issues because it doesn't want to start up. I went and got new memory for it, still nothing. So I decided to go today and get me another computer. Now it's still old, but it's a hell of a lot newer than the one I got up there. So what I've got to do is go ahead and hook this one up, and we'll get life to start with. Now when it first boots up, because it's got a different mouse, different keyboard, different monitors, it's going to have to install that. So that's not going to be an issue. So we'll go ahead and get this put up into place, take the old one down, and we'll see if we got life. I just seen it running, so I know it's got life. And then we'll go from there. I've got to take and the old hard drive out of my old computer, and we're going to have to put it in an enclosure to run it for USB, and we'll show you how to do that. Alright guys, we're back, and I ended up having to take that tower back because it was a low profile. In other words, the case was only about that wide. So I ended up having to go get this one, which is, it's the same identical processor and stuff. It's just a bigger tower. So I went ahead and put my video card in it where I can put 2 monitors on it. So now what we got to do is, first of all, we need to clean some dirt here, blow some dirt out of here. So hold your ears. Oh wow. Wow, that's a lot of dirt. Let me see if I can't take this out. And, that's a lot of dirt. That was dust bunnies. Not dirt, but dust bunnies. Oh yeah, plenty of dirt. And while we're at it, we're going to put some new paste on there since it's open. The computer has to run cool, and you got all these fins right here that you want to make sure that there's no dust and dirt in there to clog it up, because all the air goes through here, through this fan, and it just sucks it through there. And if you ever stand next to a wood pile at a sawmill, if you stand on one side of it, you can feel the air coming through it. Well, that air is cold, because believe it or not, that wood pile or wood stack is basically the same thing as this. Air comes through it, and cooler air comes in the other side. So now we'll take this out. Actually, we'll probably just go ahead and blow that out right where it's at. Alright, now as soon as I find my paste that I had here last night, now the first thing you want to do is get the old off. So we just take a rag and just wipe all that off. Alright, and you want to do the same thing to the back side of this. Alright, so now we take this, and you only need a drop. That's all you need. Less is more when you're dealing with this. And then you just take this and you spread it around. Now you don't have to worry about the streaks in it, because as soon as this squishes down on it, it's going to squish it out. So now I'll take a brush and finish brushing this out. And then we'll take this and hook it back in its slot. Set it down into place, and then put your screws back in it. Now you don't want to tighten it all the way, you just want to tighten halfway, then come over to the other side and do the same thing. Alright, we got that one tight, and then we can go ahead and finish tightening this one up. Now that's down on there tight, it's clean, and ready to go. Now we'll go ahead and take the hard drive out of the other one we'll just take this out. As soon as I find a screwdriver that I just had. Take this off of the other bracket. Now this is a 160 gig, which is fine because this is not what we're going to be using for storage. This is just going to basically be for the operating system and anything that gets downloaded or whatever, and you can even set your downloads to copy into the hard drive that you have external, which is what we're going to do. We're going to add an external drive to it, simply because I don't have another one of these bays. So this is not going to work right away, simply because Windows 7 knows your computer by the motherboard, and basically it gives you a fingerprint, or the board is the fingerprint of your software. So if you take your hard drive out and put it in another computer, it's not like it used to be when you had Windows XP or Windows 98 or Windows 95 or anything like that. It just went and read it and you went on with your bad self. Not today. Today, Windows 7 changed the rules. So now, if you take this, that is a working hard drive with Windows 7 on it, it's not going to work in this computer because it doesn't see the fingerprint. So now we're going to set this down in there and hook up our cable. Hook up our power. Now this will be for the next drive. As soon as I find another one of these caddies, we will put another drive in it. But for now, we're just going to put a external drive on it, which ain't no big deal. And remember, you want to keep your wires nice and neat. You don't want to look like somebody got in there like trailer trash and put your wires together. So now that we've got the hard drive in, now we can take it over and see if we can't boot it up. Alright guys, we've got the optiplex in it, the 780, and we're going to have to redesign this shelf, simply because this tower is a little bit taller than the one I had. So we're just got this sitting in there temporary like this until we get a get this all redone. I got to move all this stuff and make a real shelf there for this computer. But I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about earlier when I said that you can't just take a hard drive out of a computer like you used to be able to with Windows XP. And this is what happens when you do that. It will appear to boot just fine. Shows you what it is. And then it'll say launch startup repair. And it says Windows failed to start. A recent hardware and software change might be the cause. Well, we know that's not what it is. We know that it's because all your drivers are different because you got a different board. It says if Windows files has been damaged or configured incorrectly, startup repair can help. It never works, but we're going to show you that. I had to go get me some more deplorable coffee. I swear if this works, I will kick my own ass. It ain't going to. I'm just doing this to show you guys what can happen, if you guys can even see the screen good enough to know what it's doing. Alright, says, do you want to restore computer using restore? No. For the simple reason, we're going to do a fresh install. So we're going to go cancel, cancel. Well, it don't matter. We can go ahead and do a shut off because we're going to put the disk in. Now I went and bought a brand new disk because I got tired of getting all these here softwares that wasn't right. So I went and bought my own disk. Alright, so now we've got to, just taking us back to the original screen. We don't want that. What we want to do is restart and go into our BIOS. The reason it didn't start with the CD is because it's reading the hard drive first. So we need to make it so that it reads the CD-ROM first and then the hard drive if it doesn't find a bootable disk. Now we just got to figure out if it's delete or F1, it's F12. Well, that's going to take some getting used to. Alright. We're going to boot from the CD-ROM. F2 to go to setup. Oh, here we go. Boot sequence. Alright, we want... Well, it looks to me like it's already set up to do that. Yeah, it's already set up to read the CD-ROM first. Okay. I wonder why it didn't, unless I didn't hit spacebar, I must have missed that. Alright, well, we're going to have problems with this. I got to find out why it's not reading that. It is a DVD drive, so it should be reading it, but it's not doing it. We're going to hit F12 for boot option. Alright. We want to use onboard or USB CD-ROM drive. Alright, select boot device not available. Strike F1 to retry. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here. For some reason it's not reading the drive. I'm probably going to have to go get my USB drive. Spindle test failed. Alright, we're going to have to change the DVD drive. We'll be back once we get it started going.